This is Dr. Mark Hitchcock joining you again for another episode of Marking the Times. This has been an exciting venture for me to be involved in, where we're giving weekly updates on Bible prophecy and answering questions you have about end-time prophecy, biblical eschatology, but also other questions. Y'all have sent in some great questions, and I'll probably be answering a few of those next time. But I thought what we do in this episode is just talk about some of the fallout from President Trump removing the United States from the Iran nuclear deal, which I talked about that last time. I think that was a good move. I mean, the whole thing was based on lies to begin with. And what I think it really does is makes America and the other countries of the world face reality now rather than just pushing it down the road. What's been interesting is also with the moving of the U.S. Embassy to Jerusalem and all of the turmoil that's been taking place down in Gaza with the Palestinians, this has caused Saudi Arabia, interestingly, to kind of cozy up to Israel. In fact, their crown prince Mohammed, who's 32 years of age, has said that the Jewish people, the Israelis, have a right to their own land. Now that's a earth-shattering statement, really, because Saudi Arabia doesn't even have formal relations with Israel. Yet this kind of new breed of leader there is saying the Israelis have a right to their own land. And I think that's fascinating in light of Bible prophecy, because Saudi Arabia is taking a posture and has for some time against Iran. They don't want Iran to have nuclear weapons. Iran is a Shiite Islamic nation. Saudi Arabia is Sunni. Saudi Arabia does not want Iran to get nukes. They've been opposed to the Iran nuclear deal from the beginning. But I think that's prophetically significant, because in Ezekiel 38 and 39, which prophesies 2,500 years ago a Russian Islamic invasion into the land of Israel in the end times, led by Russia and Iran, there's a group of nations that are on the sidelines. And they kind of issue kind of a lame protest against this invasion. And it identifies them in Ezekiel 38:13. It says, Sheba and Dedan and the merchants of Tarshish with all its villages will say to you, have you come to capture spoil? Have you assembled your company to seize plunder, to carry away silver and gold, to take away cattle and goods, to capture great spoil? Sheba, most people have heard of the Queen of Sheba, is probably modern Yemen, the southern part of the Arabian Peninsula. Then you have Dedan that's mentioned, which is the ancient area that we would say today is modern Saudi Arabia. And then it mentions the merchants of Tarshish. Tarshish was in Spain, which probably looks at kind of a European influence. So what's fascinating here is Sheba and Dedan and Tarshish are not involved in this invasion. They're on the sidelines issuing a protest to it. And the way things are happening today, that's exactly what we see with Saudi Arabia. They're turning more pro-Israeli, more pro-Western, more against some of the more radical elements, especially the Shiite elements in Islam. So it's just another kind of a small piece of the puzzle that has been moving in place, but now is even more firmly being set in place, that if this invasion were to happen in the near future, these pieces are in place. Russia's in place, Iran's in place, Turkey's in place, but even the nations that protest the invasion are now moving into place as well. So it's just another picture for us of the foreshadowing of these events that are predicted in Bible prophecy. Next time we'll maybe answer some questions that you have, but thanks for joining us for another episode of Marking the Times. God bless you and have a good week.